thing that we're proudest of the most is the fact that we're very different from one another, and yet we have a set of values that we're all committed to regardless of our differences. This is also a week where a lot of social issues have come up due to the tragedy in America. And I know that some of the Divrei Torah that the teachers have prepared for this ceremony this evening are going to refer to that as well. So I don't want to steal anyone's thunder. I know that people have prepared some special stuff for us as we move into the program. I just want to say that addressing what's happening in the world today, in America and outside of America, in Israel and in all the rest of the countries, I think is very special for me to have the ability to mention and discuss and kind of reflect on with a group of people that are here today. On a TALMA note, and this is how I'm going to end my big opening. It's important that everybody knows what's happening with the organization. So we have thousands of students that are on the online program, and for each of the teachers that are here today that are volunteering on a regular basis to teach kids in the communities that we usually work in physically, but we're now teaching remotely. We're all very grateful for your time, for the ruach that you bring with you, and for the fact that you're allowing these kids to advance in their studies regardless of Corona and regardless of home quarantine. It's just really amazing. And for the teachers that are currently on the full year program, as opposed to other participants on programs in Israel that went home once this whole pandemic began, I admire them, and I think we all admire them for staying in Israel and staying with their students. They're working at youth villages and boarding schools where the kids really don't have homes to go back to. So they are there together with them for the past couple of months, and they're continuing to do the amazing work that they've done. And last but not least, we have an amazing group of teachers that in about 2 months' time are going to be joining our full year program, which is expanding into additional locations. For those who haven't heard yet, we are now opening a third location of the TALMA full year program in Eilat. So just so you know, Eilat is currently lacking 75 teachers for the upcoming school year. They don't have 75 professionals, and the TALMA teachers coming their way are going to make an amazing contribution. We're talking about a group of 10 non-Israeli teachers plus 10 Israeli teachers that would bring the model that we know of to their turfs. So we've got some pretty amazing educators here, people who are committed to the different aspects of the community that we've created over the years. And I thank you all for joining us. Without further ado, I would like to ask Stacy to address the group of teachers that are here with us tonight.
I just want to say hello on behalf of my mom and myself. And for those of you who are new to TALMA, to welcome you on behalf of our foundation. We joined in helping to start this program because we love Teach for America. We love all teachers. We love Israel. We love, the cross-cultural exchange that happens through TALMA. And so, this program brings all of that together to help kids, shore up their English, which will help them to be able to pursue job opportunities that they won't be able to otherwise unless they know English. There's been so many positives that have come out of TALMA in terms of Israeli teachers have learned practices that they've advocated for in Israeli schools on classroom management. And, I think the relationships are always wonderful in terms of different people from different backgrounds meeting each other, the TALMA teachers together, having an experience in another country. So there's just, many positives that we see coming from a program like TALMA, but we also want to say thank you for what all of you do. I think that one positive that's come from COVID is understanding how hard the teaching job is. I think we all knew that, but I think the rest of the world is gaining a new appreciation as parents have had to become home teachers. And so thank you for being teachers and working to have kids be able to take advantage of their full potential and the opportunities that can be available to them, and for being willing to open yourself up to an experience that's new. I like doing TALMA, and then doing TALMA remotely for those of you who are. It's certainly challenging, and it's wonderful that you've agreed to take on that challenge. As Alon said, it's a difficult time, particularly in the U.S. And Shabbat is a wonderful time to pause. We're supposed to pause and rest so that we can rejuvenate ourselves. When we first started bringing Teach for America teachers to Israel for just a short 10-day trip, reality, we really stressed Shabbat because I think Teach for America, when it was first founded, didn't really stress to teachers the part about self-care. And so since we talked a lot about Shabbat and the importance of a day of rest, Teach for America has incorporated that into what they're doing as well. And I think this weekend, the United States won't be resting. It shouldn't be resting from the standpoint of protesting centuries of racism. But I do think the notion of Shabbat and stepping back and pausing hopefully will return the protest to only to be peaceful and to dialogue, and so that we can begin the process of moving forward concretely, which the country has done a little bit of and needs to do a lot more of. And so I think this Shabbat's a great opportunity to step back and think about the past couple of weeks, and then how we sustain the momentum that's been created by the peaceful protests to move forward and create real tangible change to try to do even more to hopefully eliminate racism. And that's a lot what Teach for America also stands for, and then TALMA in Israel in terms of the communities that it's and the children it's seeking to serve. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of our foundation for all that each of you is doing, and wish you a Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much, Stacy. And it's a well-known phrase among the TALMA community that at the Schusterman Foundation, you say, we make it possible, you make it happen. And our password tonight is create, and it's a buzzword for TALMA because our teachers are the ones who create the possibilities for the students and make it happen. And so we have teachers joining us here from our first year of the program in 2014 all the way to the future of TALMA in 2021. And I'd love to turn it to a longtime alumni, Lauren Cohen, who has spent 4 summers with TALMA, and she's gonna open it up to the rest of you.
Kabbalat Shabbat means so much to the TALMA community. For me personally, I've been fortunate enough to have experienced TALMA's Kabbalat Shabbat for 4 summers. The Kabbalat Shabbat experience is a meaningful way to begin Shabbat with my fellow TALMA participants from all around the world. Kabbalat Shabbat is a shared experience for everyone in TALMA to gather together in readings and songs, both traditional and fun, while welcoming Shabbat. One of my most memorable shared experiences at Kabbalat Shabbat is when Alon gathers us all together and teaches us part of the Nigun Ilu Lulu. It shows how for a moment we can forget all about our differences and become one TALMA unit while we sing. Another one of my favorite Shabbat experiences is gathering together for Oneg, where we have a lot of laughs and get to meet new people while sharing our often humorous experiences. TALMA has become such a special community for me, and I am forever thankful for getting to be a part of it. I'm now going to invite a couple other alumni to share their thoughts. Sarah Greenberg, would you like to share?
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah. I have also been a part of the TALMA community since 2016, and at this point I have so many friends in the program, and every summer we're spread out now all over the country, and the Kabbalat Shabbat has really been a wonderful time where no matter where we are in the country, and not just where we are in the United States, but in Israel, we're all over the place. Getting a chance to come together as one TALMA community has always been very special, and I'm so thankful this is happening. Some TALMA friends and I were just, we were Zooming a couple weeks ago, and we were saying we were sad that we weren't going to get to meet up all together for a TALMA Kabbalat Shabbat this summer. So wonderful to see you all.
Thank you, Sarah. Next up, we have Stacy.
Hi, everyone. It feels like it's been a while since I've seen you, but I think it was just a few weeks ago. But I'm so happy to be able to share this Kabbalat Shabbat with all of you. As many of you know, I've been with TALMA since summer 2015 and 2016 and full year in Mitzvah. And almost 2 years ago, I can't believe it's been 2 years, I made Aliyah to be closer to this community of teachers, to be closer to my TALMA family, my extended TALMA family, my friends of TALMA family. And this Kabbalat Shabbat has become, just like welcoming Shabbat has become such a part of my life. Just, okay, who am I going to talk to this weekend? Who am I going to say Shabbat Shalom to this weekend? My mom posting on my Facebook wall saying Shabbat Shalom every single Friday because she knows it's part of my life now. And that's all because of TALMA, that connection, that everybody comes together. It sticks out in my mind, like Haley singing I did Haley leading the songs and Alone's Ilululu. It's just all those moments and those memories stick and just keep bringing me back together. And especially this year being all separated, I think having tonight it's the icing on the cake. So thank you, and I love seeing all of you.
Thank you, Stacy. At this time, please take a moment to type in the chat what TALMA Kabbalat Shabbat means to you.
And while you all are typing, I'm going to start to introduce our next speaker, reader. Emily Cruz is an incoming TALMA 2020-2021 fellow at Ben Shemin Youth Village. She was supposed to be a new fellow with us this summer and decided if summer's not happening, she's going to jump in for the longer haul. And so I'm very excited to introduce Emily, who's going to be followed by several alumni who are joining us to read. And they have done their own adaptation on Heschel's Shabbat, A Palace in Time. And so for that, I'm going to turn it to you, Emily.
Thank you, Deborah. To observe the Sabbath is to celebrate the coronation of a day in the spiritual wonderland of time, the air of which we inhale when we call it the Sabbath a delight. Unlike the Day of Atonement, the Sabbath is not dedicated exclusively to spiritual goals. It is a day of the soul as well as of the body. Comfort and pleasure are an integral part of the Sabbath observance. Man in his entirety, all his faculties must share its blessing. The Sabbath is a reminder of the two worlds, this world and the world to come. It is an example of both worlds. For the Sabbath is joy, holiness, and rest. Joy is part of this world. Holiness and rest are something of the world to come.
Danya Preston.
Right.
Hi, yes, that's me. I hope you can hear me. Unfortunately, identifying with the joy, holiness, and the rest may be difficult for the Black community at this time. The Black community has endured a history of challenges, which continues to remain evident in today's modern injustices that we see on our TVs every day. For our Black brothers and sisters, the inequalities, oppression, and mistreatment have stripped opportunities for the very joy, holiness, and rest we seek on the Sabbath. In this, neither justice nor the peace we seek on the Sabbath can be achieved. To observe the seventh day does not mean merely to obey or to conform to the strictness of divine commandment. To observe is to celebrate the creation of the world itself and to create the seventh day over again, all over again. The majesty of holiness and time and day of rest, a day of freedom, a day in a day which is like a Lord and King of all other days, a Lord and a King of the Commonwealth of time.
Sarah Buzeglo, are you on? Okay, I'm gonna jump in for her quickly. This celebration of the Sabbath is what we, a collective community, should seek to curate for our Black brothers and sisters who need it most right now. Not just a day, but a lifetime of rest and freedom from the systemic barriers in our earthly society. Beauty of grandeur, a crown of victory, a day of rest and holiness, a rest in love and generosity, a true and genuine rest, a rest that yields peace and serenity, tranquility and security, a perfect rest with which thou art pleased. This is what we seek on this day. This is what we should seek for those experiencing injustices every day. Ryan, are you on? Okay, can I have Nellie, do you mind jumping in and reading for us?
Sure. We arrive at the seventh day, and the Sabbath is endowed with a felicity which enraptures the soul, which glides into our thoughts with a healing sympathy. It is a day on which hours do not oust one another. It is a day that can soothe all sadness away. So this Kabbalat Shabbat, TALMA wishes to dedicate this experience in solidarity to hope and healing for, in, and with the Black community. The seventh day is like a palace in time with a kingdom for all. It is not a date, but an atmosphere. Tonight, let us unite in this space, in our virtual palace for all, and create an atmosphere that will allow us to heal.
Thank you so much to everyone who just read. So we're going to now turn it to Marissa Galley, who is an alumni of our full year program in Mitzvah in 2018 and also did our summer 2018 and 19 program. And she's going to read for us the Welcoming the Shabbat.
Kabbalat Shabbat. The custom of Kabbalat Shabbat as part of the public prayer service is relatively recent. It originated with the sages of Kabbalah and Safat in the second half of the 17th century CE. Because it comes from a single source and began not too many generations ago, it is essentially uniform. Moreover, because Kabbalat Shabbat comprises only Psalms and Piyutim, in some congregations, children under the age of bar bat mitzvah age are allowed to be the cantors for this prayer. Kabbalat Shabbat is made out of 6 Psalms, Psalms 95 through 99 and Psalm 29, recited with elevated spirit and joyful enthusiasm. In some places, the recitation of these Psalms was accompanied by musical instruments. According to some sources, each of these Psalms corresponds to one of the weekdays and is intended to elevate it to a state of completion and perfection. It was also pointed out that the numerical value of the Hebrew word nefesh, soul, alluding to the additional soul of Shabbat.
Audrey, are you on? Okay, can I have, we're gonna do this flipping around style. Nina Birch, do you mind reading for us?
Not at all. The mystics of Israel conceived of the Sabbath as entering the world as Israel's bride, and they welcome her with ecstatic joy. They saw Shabbat, especially hallowed by God, as the day when Israel may unite with God in love. To reach the necessary joy and focus of prayer, they instituted a new part of the liturgy called Kabbalat Shabbat, Welcoming Shabbat. Composed of several psalms and songs, it reminds us of the Shabbat themes of God's love, as well as the creation of the world. We begin with Yedid Nefesh, a beautiful liturgical poem written in the 16th century, sung in most synagogues from time immemorial, followed by some psalms, and Lecha Dodi, the foundational song of Kabbalat Shabbat.
Thank you. So we're going to turn it now to our first performance, Dave Schreiber, who is a summer 2016 alum in Mitzvah Ramon, and he's going to be incoming for our first full year cohort in Eilat. Dave is going to do a special version of Yedid Nefesh.
Thank you, Deborah. Good evening and Shabbat Shalom. In keeping with the theme of bringing different cultures together, this evening's melody comes actually from Ireland. You're encouraged to sing along. It's very singable. If you're following along in the Hebrew, the last 2 lines in each verse repeat. If you're following in the transliteration, the last 3 lines in every verse repeat. ידיד נפש אב הרחמן, שוכבדך אל רצונה. ירוץ עבדך כמו האייל, ישתחווה מול הדרה. ירב לו ידידותך, מנוח קצוף בכל טעם. ירב לו ידידותך, מנוח קצוף בכל טעם. הדור נאה זיו העולם, נפשי חולת אהבתה. הנהל נא רפונה לה, והרוד לנועם זיווה. אז תתחזק ותתרפא, והייתה לה שפחת עולם. אז תתחזק ותתרפא, והייתה לה שפחת עולם. ותגיימו רחמך, וחוסנה בין אוהבה. כי זה כמה נפסוף נפסף, לראות בתפארת עוזה. הנהלי מחמד ליבי, מוסנה ואל תצלם. הנהלי מחמד ליבי, מוסנה ואל תצלם. יגלה נא ופרוס חביב עלי את סוכת שלומה. תאיר ארץ מכבודה, נגילה ונשמחה בה. מהר ההוא כי במועד, וכונני כי לעולם. מהר ההוא כי במועד, וכונני כי מעולם. היי די 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 די.
Beautiful job. Thank you so much, Dave. That was awesome. And the Irish version, nonetheless. We're going to turn it now to a new incoming or should have been incoming Summer 2020 fellow. Jessica is joining us hopefully in Summer 2021 and is going to sing Psalm 96, Shiru Ladonai, for us.
Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Shem, Basru Meyom Leyom, Yeshuato, Zafru Vagoyim Kevodo, Bechol Ha'amim Niflotav, Ki Gadol Adonai, Hulal me'od, no rahu, al kol Elohim, ki kol Elohe ha'amim melilim, va'adonai shamayim asa, od behadar lefanav oz betiferet, במקדשו, הבו לאדוני משפחות עמים, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, שאו מנחה ובואו לחצרותיו, השתחוו לאדוני בהר הקודש, חילו מפניו כל הארץ, אמרו בגויים אדוני מלך, אף תיכון תבל בל תימות, ידין עמים במישרים, ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירם הים ומלואו, יעלו שדי, וכל אשר בואי, Az Yiranenu Kol HaTeyar Lifnei Adonai Kiva Lishpot Haaretz Lishpot Tevel Betzedek Be'amim Be'emunato Yanai.
Awesome. Beautiful job, Jessica. I love seeing everybody singing along in the background, so keep it up. And we're going to now head to our Devar Torah, which is going to be led by Lauren Lamonsoff, another accepted Summer 2020 fellow who will now hopefully be a Summer 2021 fellow. And she's going to be doing the Devar Torah for this week's Parsha, Naso. And I'm going to stop sharing the screen for a moment so we can focus on her. Lauren, you're on mute still. There you go.
Better? Great. Okay. Humankind is hurting. Everywhere we turn, we can see sickness, death, violence, and injustice. There is outrage, and rightfully so. We turn on the news, and it's one horrific story after another. Children are asking their parents why they can't go back to school. Nurses and doctors are physically scarred from wearing masks for hours on end, and emotionally and spiritually scarred from facing illness at every turn. People of color are trying their best to outline to their children how to avoid being murdered by the police. Buildings are on fire, stores are being looted, protesters are being gassed, beaten, and arrested. It's everywhere, and it's all the time. We have no choice but to pay attention, and we have no choice but to respond. This week's Parsha, Naso, begins with Moses outlining the service that each family is required to carry out for the good of the community and in honor of God. Some are responsible for bringing the tapestries and door coverings for the tabernacle, while others are in charge of the pillars and beams that will construct it. Each Israelite accepts their duties and carries them out for the greater good. The Parsha then explains the protocol for sinning. If any person commits a sin, they will incur guilt. It goes further into detail about specific sins, mainly focusing on wayward wives sinning against their husbands and the procedure in that circumstance. The Torah mentions that filling up the belly of a woman suspected of adultery with bitter waters, and if she has indeed sinned, she will be stricken and cursed. Finally, we read about the Nazarites, those who take a vow to devote their lives to the service of God. They sacrifice their own comfort for the sake of their duty, refraining from cutting their hair, consuming any grape products, and even coming in contact with the dead. Here and now in 2020, we are not constructing a place of worship. There is no need for carrying tapestries or pillars or beams. We are, however, in the midst of reconstructing a society that has been broken for far too long. Whether or not we like to acknowledge it, because it is painful to recognize, our collective life stands on a foundation of damaged values, both systematic and individual. We are all cogs in a highly defective machine. We are not wayward wives. There is no need to fill our bellies up with bitter waters to determine whether or not we have sinned, as the Torah outlines. We have sinned, and most of us have acknowledged it, and now we must make it right. We are not Nazarites, and we have not taken oaths or vows to commit our lives solely to the service of God. We can cut our hair and we can drink wine, but without taking on the Nazarite service, I challenge you to take a moment and think, what service do I owe to my community? Am I standing in protest with my friends and loved ones who are suffering? Am I on the front lines providing medical attention to those who are ill? Do I have a large and public platform, or even a small one? And am I using it to spread messages of peace, hope, recovery, and even outrage? Am I giving up my own comfort in order to stand with those who would not have comfort of their own? As the world keeps turning and the buildings keep burning and people keep dying, I encourage you to fight for the good of all mankind. Naso isn't about rights and freedoms. It's about responsibility to act and to serve. This is not politics. There are no sides to be taken. There is one side, and that one side is justice. We must commit to service and commit to good. Think about what that looks like to you and act. Chazak va'amatz, be strong and have fortitude.
Thank you so much, Lauren, for taking the time to write that and connect it to everything going on in the world right now. And it really is something that I think is affecting the world over, not just the US. And so I'm joined now by two of our international teachers First, Tamara Merwin, who is going to be part of our incoming cohort of our 2020 full year fellows in Ein Gedi. She's going to be our elementary teacher there. And she'll be followed by Lolo, who is an amazing alumni of ours who taught last year in Jerusalem for our Summer 2019 program. And he's joining us from Ghana. Tamara, it's your floor.
All right. The hymn L'chai Dodi, composed by Rabbi Shlomo Alkabez, is regarded as one of the pearls of Jewish religious poetry. Its simplicity of form and linguistic charm serve to highlight the beauty and richness of its spiritual message. The hymn is composed of 10 stanzas, the first of which is the shortest of all, and serves also. The initial letters of the 8 middle stanzas form an acrostic of the author's first name. The language of the hymn is based on biblical phrases and is full of allusions to the Talmudic and other sources, with only very few additions by the poet himself. However, all of that combines to form a complete and very original lyrical composition. An essential aspect of the hymn's beauty lies in a seemingly puzzling aspect of it. Who is the bride spoken about? In certain verses, it is clearly the Shabbat, while in others, it seems to be the people of Israel or the city of Jerusalem. The meaning of beloved, too, keeps shifting accordingly. In certain stanzas, it is the people of Israel going out to meet the Shabbat queen, and in others, it is God.
The hymn is thus more than just a song of praise for the Shabbat day. It is a song of deep devotion of the bond of love between man and God. The hymn is well loved by all and is sung in hundreds of melodies, many of which were composed especially for it. We at TALMA tend to choose some melodies that the majority of our community members might be familiar with. So every person that chooses to join the singing may do so, regardless of their affiliation and personal familiarness with the hymn. L'chai Dodi.
Thank you, Tamara and Lolo. And I didn't mention Tamara is joining us from Colombia. So I also want to mention that we have another Shabbat bride, or soon to be after Shabbat bride. Jessica Vishner, I think, has joined us on the call, and she's getting married on Sunday. So Mazel Tov for your impending wedding, Jessica. And we're going to turn it to Julia Meyerhoff, who's going to be leading us in L'chai Dodi to the tune of what may be a familiar song to many of you, Hallelujah.
L'chai Dodi Likrat Kala Pnei Shabbat Nekabela Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad Hishmi'anu el ha'meuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shem u'tiferet v'letehila L'chai Dodi Likrat Kala Pnei Shabbat Nekabela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha Ki hi mekor habracha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof maseh b'machshava tehila L'chai Dodi Likrat Kala Pnei Shabbat Nekabela Mikdash Melech Ir Melucha Kumi tzei mitoch hachafecha Rav lach shevet be'emek habacha V'hu yachmol alayich chemla L'chai Dodi Likrat Kala Pnei Shabbat Nekabela Hitna Ari me'afar kumi Livshi bigdei tifar tachami על יד בן ישי בית הלחמי, קרבה אל נפשי גאלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, אורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. Da 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 da, I lost the place, and this is a really beautiful song. Da 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 da. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lo tivoshi velo tikalmi, ma tishtochachi u'ma tehemi. Bach Yesu ani ami v'nivneta ir al tila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. V'hayu limshisa sosaich, v'rachaku kol mevalaich. Yasis aleich Elochaich, kimsos chata kala. Lecha dodi likra kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Yamin usmol tifotzi, ve'et Adonai taritzi. Al yad ish ben partzi, v'ni simcha v'nagila. Rise and face the rear of the shul. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom atelet ba'ala, gam b'simcha u'b'tchala. Toch emunei am segula, boi chala. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela.
Amazing job, Julia. And we love your voice so much, and we appreciate your ad-libbing as well. So we're going to have Julia sing one more song for us, and she's going to, from the Cayman Islands, be leading us in Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat.
Mizmor shir leyom hashabbat, tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer leshimcha elyon, ulezamer leshimcha elyon. Lehagid baboker chastecha, ve'emunatecha balelot. Alei asor v'alei navel, alei higayom bekinor. Mizmor shir leyom hashabbat, tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer leshimcha elyon, ulezamer leshimcha elyon. כי שימחתני אדוני בפעל אורך, במעשה ידיך רנן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מזמור שיר כולם ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
Beautiful job, Julia. Thank you so, so much. And we have now a part of our service that has become a staple, I think, for the TALMA community. Haley Wright, who has been with us since summer 2016 and every summer since, as well as our full year program in Mitzvah Ramon, has every year for the past number of years led us in the Misha Berach, which is a prayer for the ill. And she's taken the time to shift it to consider exactly what's happening in the world right now. And so with that, I'm going to turn it to Haley here with me in New York City.
Well, not physically together.
Not physically. Together but apart.
Yes. Thank you, Deborah. At this part of the service, we turn our attention to those who have fallen ill in our personal lives, our community, our country, and the world at large. The Misha Berach prays for physical cure as well as spiritual healing, asking for blessing, compassion, restoration, and strength, not only for the sick, but their loved ones. As we prepare to sing this prayer, our minds cannot help but go to those who have been diagnosed with COVID-19, the family members unable to care for or hug their sick loved ones, those who are grieving the loss of someone special in their hearts, George Floyd, his family and friends, the communities that have been damaged by the racism in our country and the world still faces, and the world in which one day soon we'll be able to come together once again, hand in hand, to welcome Shabbat in person and celebrate together. So we sing this song to heal the sick while hoping for a better tomorrow. I invite you all midway through the song, I'll pause, and at that time, if there's someone in your life in need of healing, please feel free to type their name in the chat, or if you feel comfortable enough, you may unmute yourself to state their name. Misha Berach Avotenu Mikor Havracha Limotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
Asher Montplaisir. Feel free to unmute yourselves.
Bailey Stelsberg.
Misha Berach Imotenu Mikor Havracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Haley. I'm going to turn it now to another longtime alumni of ours, Sarah Goldenberg, who has been with us since summer 2015, many times in Jerusalem, but everywhere from East Jerusalem to the Orthodox communities, Ayano, and beyond. And she's going to introduce a prayer for peace, Oseh Shalom.
Thanks, Deborah. So our next prayer is Oseh Shalom, a prayer for peace. Tonight, as we give thanks for being together on the Shabbat, we also acknowledge all the work we still must do in order to gain peace for all. Peace comes from equality, from justice, and from freedom. Today, we'll be adding a line to Oseh Shalom because in addition to wishing for peace for Israel, we recognize the importance of having peace for all who dwell on earth, no matter their race, religion, or ethnicity. The amazing Jorge will be leading us in a Oseh Shalom all the way from Colombia.
Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure for me to be here. And when Sarah asked me to do this song and Deborah, I thought that since it was about world.
We're losing him from Colombia. Hopefully it comes back in a moment. We'll give him a second. And in the meantime, oh, there we go. George, you're back. He warned me that he might have some Wi-Fi trouble. So he actually recorded Oseh Shalom, and I might have to double back to it. So we're gonna go out of order for a moment. I'm gonna switch it over to Will Alvarado, who is in Los Angeles, California. He was part of our 2019 summer community. And we're on page 16 if you're following in the book, 15 if you're following along in the virtual version that's sent along. And Will is the music instructor, lead teacher at Browerman in Los Angeles. And he has taken the time to learn, along with the support of the Hebrew teachers at Browerman, how to do Adon Olam for us and perform to the tune of our old school favorite, Backstreet Boys. So Will, I'm gonna turn this one to you, and then we'll try to double back to George once he's back.
All right, everybody, let's have some fun here. All right, we got this. Adon Olam, Hashem Allah, B'terem Yitzir Nivra Let Nasa, B'chen Sukol, Hazai Melech Shmo Nivra, Vakarei, Hiblot HaKol, Varoyim Adon Olam, you hayavu uhu yeh tifara uhu echad ve'im sheni lechamishim lo chachbira Adon Olam li reish li takli v'hu choz v'ham sira. Sorry, so I'm gonna start there again. Vuhu Eli, Lechai Wali, Sucheli, Be'Yisra Adon Olam, Vuhu Nisi Humanusli, Unat Kosi Yon Egra, Biyado Afki.
Amazing job. I want to just say he didn't know this song at the beginning of the week when I asked him to learn it. So huge kol hakavod and shout out to you for that. George is in the process of trying to send me over his Oseh Shalom. But in the meantime, we've had a number of amazing appearances, and I'm just going to quickly jump ahead, and hopefully his Oseh Shalom comes through so that we can enjoy it. But thank you so much to everybody who participated and who joined in on the readings. We had an incredible planning committee with Lauren Lamonsoff, Lauren Cohen, Haley, Sarah Goldenberg, and Emily, and they did a fantastic job helping to facilitate me and making this possible, along with the rest of our TALMA team. If you are interested in sticking around after, and Alon still is going to jump in with some words before we try to get George back, but we have a number of breakout sessions that we're going to offer for people who would like to enjoy Shabbat again, together but apart, with some virtual breakout sessions. And we have different groups that I've already compiled based on whoever shared with me. But if you didn't sign up to join a Shabbat with us, I'm happy to add you to a group. We're going to break out from within this group. And I'm just so grateful to have this community to count on, as I know I at least am stuck alone at my apartment in New York and have been able to count on so many amazing members of this community to keep me company and keep my spirits up. I see that George just sent it through, so we're gonna get creative, and I might have to share my Facebook screen for a moment, so this could get interesting. But give me 1 second, and I'm gonna try to pull it up. And in the meantime, Alon, if you maybe have a few words, you don't have to close yet, but I'm gonna just try to pull this up.
I'm not gonna speak twice, but I will just say thank you again. And hopefully when you begin your Shabbat this afternoon, in Israel, we're already in the middle of Shabbat, it's almost midnight here. But around the world, it's almost Shabbat, not Shabbat yet. And when you begin your Shabbat, regardless of how you celebrate Shabbat, if at all, hopefully this will be a nice memory and something you can reflect on when beginning your Shabbat. It's supposed to be a castle in time. It's supposed to be something special. It's supposed to be a different kind of 24 hours as opposed to other 24-hour days that we have during the week. So I want to thank everyone here just for being here, not even to mention the people who were active and read out stuff or sang stuff for us or made it even more special, but just by being here today. I think we really had a unique experience. COVID-19 has been creating some interesting and positive stuff for us as well, not just home quarantine and fear. And thank you for coming together. This is exactly how we fight fear. This is exactly how we capture the essence of a community, regardless of where we are in the world, and practice the values that are important to us. So thank you to each and every one of you. I want to thank Lynn Schusterman again for being here with us, and Stacy Schusterman for being with us and opening this session. It really means the world for us. The fact that the people who support us and allow us to come together as a community and lead change don't just do it from a distance, but actually get involved with our community as well. It does mean the world to us. So thank you everyone, and Shabbat Shalom.
We're going to end with George's version of Oseh Shalom. Hopefully it works. And if you are part of our Shabbat groups or would like to be a part of our Shabbat group, stick around after and I will get you guys into your various rooms. So let's see if this works.
Shalom,
Amazing. Oh, it's still going. Oh gosh. Amazing job, George. He also learned this just for us, or he had a little bit of practice with it before, but George teaches at a Jewish day school in Columbia and has been an amazing addition of our team. So thank you so much to all our musicians and readers and everybody who joined. Stacy and Lynn, thank you so much again. And if you are not in a Shabbat group, and I'm going to post that again just now, please feel free to let me know if you'd like to stick around and I'll add you to one of the groups. But this has been a real blast. So if you want to chat among yourselves, or anybody wants to say hi while I start making the breakout groups, please by all means, and also feel free to fill your glasses if you are on empty. And I'm so grateful for this community. So thanks so much to everybody who joined.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, and thank you to Deborah too.